That's right. When you hear that sound, you know it's time for the Russ Tolman Good Time Hour. And off it goes. Today we have a fantastic program lined up for you. Our guest is Barbara Manning, the one, the only. You know her from 28 Day and her very many solo records and the Go Luckies and the San Francisco Seals and I think X-Tall. I don't know.
Left our homes, left our friends, left the wounds we live in, and spread out along the road. I've been weak when my Lord was calling. The water will take our load. On the day that you were born, legions laid down their arms. On the day you lost control, legions leapt for your throat. Tell me I'm wrong. Is the face in the water unmistakable? Black's the color of the sea when it's free from the light of the sun. Your crystal ball, faith in the age of medicine. And the children are asleep with their heads on the butt of a gun. You put up a wall, keep the bad ones out, keep the good ones in. Fight a battle on your knees while the sea swallows everyone. Come in the water. Is there somewhere you have to go? We'll keep a lantern open in case you lose your way in the cold. On the day that you were born, legions laid down their arms. On the day they found you out, left no shadow of a doubt.
walk through with everyone else too. My car starts on the third try. Same old store, same old things I buy. I see my street and my house in front of me. My heart starts racing, I can't breathe, 'cause they're all waiting on me. Past the buildings being put up and being torn down, past the marinas, and then the coast comes round. The kids' ice cream is melting, my husband's beer is getting warm. The phone starts ringing an hour after I should have been home. I see cargo ships passing, gas gauge is on empty, but I don't stop driving. 'Cause the second I do, I swear I'll lose my mind. Only for a moment, just one time, I had love that would hold me and get me through the night. I'd be okay if just for a minute I felt love like fireworks inside me, and kindness engulfing me. Love that's never cruel, belittling or criticizing, or makes you feel so small you might as well not be there at all. I just want remind me that love can still find me. Please hurry up, hurry up, hurry up, hurry. I feel like I'm drowning in plain sight.
Drowning in Plain Sight from the Delines, from their Seas Drift album from 2022. Fine band out of Portland, Oregon, booked by my pal Chris Metzler over there in London, England. Chris is originally from Portland himself, or at least lived there for a long time. And the Delines feature some former members of Richmond Fontaine, a band you might know, including Willie Valutin, the novelist. And right before that, we heard the Barr brothers, Come in the Water, from their 2014 album, Sleeping Operator. And we started off with Tommy James with the riff that they borrowed from Crimson and Clover. Not Tommy borrowing, but the Barr brothers. They really are borrowers, those Barr brothers. And we've got Barbara Manning for more tongue twisters here on the Good Time Hour. Barbara Manning is going to be on the program here in a little bit, and so why don't we hear her along with a fellow named Dipstick and These Days.
I don't do too much talking these days. These days I seem to think a lot about all the things that I forgot to do. And of all the times I had the chance to, I've stopped my rambling. I don't do too much gambling these days. These days I seem to think about all the changes came about my way. And I wonder if I'll see another highway. I had a lover. I don't think I'll risk another these days. These days. And if I seem to be afraid to live the life, well, I've made it so. It's just that I've been losing so long. I've stopped my dreaming. I don't do too much scheming these days. These days I sit on cornerstones and count the time as quarter turns to 10. Please don't confront me with my failures. I had not forgotten them.
Sometimes when you're awake, you hear me ask
That's right. We had a little bit of a Barbara Manning fest there. That was the San Francisco Seals featuring the aforementioned Miss Manning. And going back to 1985, before that, 28th Day, The Pride of Chico, California, I'm Only Asking. And we started off with a very cool remix from an album that I have to admit that I put out on the Interstate. Actually, it was on the Weed label back in 2002. It was Dipstick, who was a kind of a DJ remix guy, and so he took and remixed a whole bunch of our artists, and Barbara was on Interstate at that point in time, and Dipstick versus Barbara Manning and doing the Jackson Browne song These Days. And the name of the album that's from, that if you want to look it up, is called Don't Rewind, Remixes and Other Rendezvous. Going back to 2002. Can't believe I'm that old, folks. And speaking, oh no, we won't go there. I think I hear the telephone. Welcome to the Good Time Hour. We have Barbara Manning here today joining us. Hello, Barbara.
Hello, Russ.
Long time no talk. Actually, last time I saw you was here in Palm Springs. You and Dan came out for an event. That was a good night of fun. Folks will know Barbara Manning from her mini solo records, including on Matador back in the 90s. And before that, she was in a band with Cole Marquis and Mike Clower called 28th Day out of Chico, California. And that's just on a reissue, that a compilation that just came out about the Paisley Underground. And I have a copy here. If I could, if it wasn't so dark in here, I could read what's. Oh, it's called Twisted Dream Machine. That's what it's called. And there you go. How are you doing?
I don't know about the Twisted Dream Machine.
Oh, you've got at least one track on here. I think there's Pages Turned and something else. So you'll have to talk to Mike, whoever's taking care of licensing these days, and get a copy. It's on vinyl, and it's on a 2LP and then on a CD. It came out in England here about only like a week or so ago.
Oh, okay.
There you go. But you've been musically active elsewhere. Tell us what you've been up to and what you're planning.
Well, I was able to go on a really fun trip last summer to England and Scotland and play to people that either I've seen about a million years ago and not since, or play to people I've never met. And that was really fun. And then next summer, this coming summer 25, Dan and I plan to join a group of people who are going to be touring in wow. And that's what we're looking forward to right now.
That's great. Dan being your husband.
That's right.
Yeah. Dan Vargas, a fine fellow he is.
He is. Yeah. He makes me a better person for sure.
That's good. That's what spouses are good for. So I played, I think it was last week or the week before, I played Burnside from the 28th Day record here on the Good Time Hour. And that scream, it was not planned and totally unexpected, at least on my end and the engineer's end, as the needles went way into the red. Tell me about that scream, will you?
Well, it was a frustration scream, but mostly,
that's what I thought.
Yeah, but you have to keep in mind that we were playing live. The scream would be the end of the song, so it wasn't completely out of the blue. But mostly, I had this idea for a bass line that you were convinced was a bad idea, and so I played the song in a way that was, much simpler. I had the rumblings of a chord that I wanted to play, and we just reduced it down to the single, quarter beats.
Right.
Yeah.
I vaguely remember that. I do remember the scream though. Ouch.
Oh my God, that was crazy. I definitely took a long time before I went into the room because I figured you weren't too thrilled.
It was fun. So speaking of recording, have you got anything coming up?
There's a single that's going to come out pretty soon, a 45.
Oh, awesome.
Oh, or actually, I guess in either, I don't know, we're not in a hurry to put it out, but we're thinking of maybe a holiday single, or it could be put out for Gregor Cantor, the mathematician's birthday in March, or something along those lines. But it's got 2 very lovely Barbara Manning songs on them, and it came out better than most of the things I do. It came out really beautiful. I think a part of that was taking our time with it, being able to record it here, also having some really good, like for instance, John Convertino, the drummer, is playing on it. And then this incredibly masterful mastering guy who is just really took apart the sounds and really put them back together in a really beautiful way. So Dan and I are really pleased with that. And all that information will be on the single, so it'll make up for the fact that I'm going blank on everybody's names.
That's okay. That's right. John Convertino being the drummer of Calexico, and then before that, the drummer of Giant Sand, and an all-around swell fellow.
Yes.
Yeah. So let's see. We met, how old were you? About 19 years old when we met?
I think that's right, because I remember you sitting in the living room trying to write out a bio for all of us.
Yeah. Oh, yes, I did. And yes, well, it wasn't hard to make you guys interesting, but you were interesting. You opened up for True West when we played in Chico, and I believe that was 1984. And then we said, wow, who's this band? They're great. And so at that point in time, I had a distribution deal with Enigma Records, and for our label Bring Out Your Dead that we put out the True West stuff on. And so I lured you guys into the studio, and we made a record and then an EP, and then they wanted more for overseas release. So it's a full album. And then we ended up back in the studio again. All over the place. We recorded in Davis at Samurai Studio. We mixed at Tom Mallon's in San Francisco, and then back to Davis Sound Studio. And it was good fun. And that, yes, right. When I had to lure you to Davis because Enigma needed the extra traction. You're going, it's my birthday. I don't want to record. I'm going to be 21. I want to hang out with my friends. So we recorded, and then we went to the local watering hole, The Graduate, for, I think we had Long Island iced teas, if I recall. Yeah, they were known for their $1 Long Island iced teas back in the day. I'm sure that would be $10 in today's money, but you could get quite inebriated on $1 back in the day. Yeah, and they also had the dollar pitchers of beer back then too. By golly, back when $1 was worth $1, or whatever it was. Geez Louise. So that record came out in 1985 and got glowing reviews everywhere. I remember a particularly good one in Sounds, the English weekly that I believe is no longer with us. Maybe there's an online version of it, but all those cool print weeklies, music weeklies in England, kind of all went down the dumper. Kind of sad. Yeah,
that's definitely. I never thought that I would be a person who reads my news on my phone, but I do.
There you go. What else can you do with them? Make phone calls? No one does that anymore, do they? Let's see. So, what else have you got going on in the music sphere?
In the music sphere, well, I'm teaching about 80 kids how to play guitar.
Wow, that's got to be fun.
Yeah, it's really fun, and I get to give them. I don't always do it every week, but pretty much twice a month, they get a Wizards of Guitar lesson where I introduce them to guitarists from all stratospheres of abilities and genres.
Right. And how are they doing? Are you learning chord by chord, or how are you going about it?
Yeah, we have been learning chord by chord. They're through most of the open chords by now because I introduced F and B, and those are really tough. But there's a whole group of kids that are ready to go on to tablature, and what I'm going to do is have a group play chords and songs, and then the other group can learn tablature to the songs, which will be more challenging for them. And then because I work in a really a mostly Latino district,
Right.
I realized that there's all this music that I'd never heard of before. In particular, there are special ballads that the kids love. And so I want to do a unit on that. I've been learning some of the rhythms, and I feel like it's a really good influence on me. So while I'm teaching the kids about, Nick Drake, they're teaching me about Junior H.
There you go. Hey, so is Barbara Manning's Guitar Orchestra?
Well, it was kind of like the Glenn Branca crazy noise orchestra of guitars when I first started, but it's pretty organized now, and the kids are very kind and grateful for learning and excited, and it's a really good environment for me. I get really excited about it too. Makes me play every day. I brought my amp in and my guitar so I can help the kids tune up and show them things, but overall I feel like I'm teaching them how to be self-sufficient. They can teach themselves, and they can move on from there and learn anything.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah. Thank you. I have a show coming up too. I'm going to be opening it for the Softies, and they're back together after a really long break, not breakup, but just not putting out a record, mostly raising kids, etc. But they're on a tour that's been taking them to Scotland and all around. They're on the East Coast right now, and they've been getting crazy good write-ups, 2 of them in Rolling Stone and some others. So I expect their show here is going to be crazy packed.
That's great.
Yeah, and I'm learning, like I decided to learn a chill song for it and things like that I haven't tried before.
I see. So where and when is that?
Oh, it's in Long Beach at this kind of a very small, quirky, sweet little place called The Vine. And
okay. Yeah, I know The Vine on 4th Street.
Yeah, and that, it's kind of like no stage, etc. But most of the people who show up go in the back and don't pay any attention, so you can usually get up front. And then that's on October 28th, and I expect it to be pretty cool. It's going to be a Monday, I think.
Okay. Let's check the calendar, shall we? October 28th, that's coming up soon. 28th, yes, it's a Monday.
Yay.
Yay, Monday. Come see Barbara Manning at The Vine, which is very cool. 4th Street, there's plenty of places to eat there.
Oh, yeah.
Being a former Long Beach resident, I know these things.
Yeah, that's right. I think that it's going to be early. Like, they usually start any weekday shows, like, right at 7.
Oh, that's great.
I would expect not to play long because that is not what people are going to be there for.
Right.
Figured, 5 or 6 songs at most. And then get out of the way for the Softies because people are excited. Haven't been able to see them in a long time. And, they're sort of part of that whole, I don't know, scene of pre-Riot Girl era.
Right. Right. Well, what else should we talk about, Miss Manning?
I have a tortoise that's getting larger by the day.
Oh, yeah. I mean, he must be giant.
He's so big, and he's only a third of how big he will be because you can see by the back, his geometric patterns are not fully developed. And, yeah, he's going to get bigger, but he's so friendly. And anybody who's tortoises don't love company. They're crazy because he is just, oh my God, he's so fun.
That's great. So how broad across I remember when he was about a foot across. So I would imagine he's
I definitely think he's probably 2 feet in diameter, maybe larger. He's much too big for us to lift.
Oh,
We used to put him on a cart, and I don't know how I would get him on the cart. So
Yeah.
he's just organic, but he's really fast too. He just
oh, I bet.
and he's funny. He's just a doll. I love him so much. Another thing is that I'm at school. I'm directing a play, which means I don't
Yes.
get home very early, which means I barely see my tortoise because he goes to bed early. But I'm doing a high school version of a really intense play that's about the Cholo life in East LA and how gangs influence the generations of people coming through, and it's based on or an adaptation from an old Greek play by Sophocles,
Oh,
and the kids are really responding to it well.
so did you say Electra? I talked over you.
Yes, it's
Okay.
it's called Electricidad.
Oh, Electricidad.
Yes, I've had to take out a lot of things that just would never get me. It would definitely get me fired. Some of the things that are in the play, so I have to be very careful with my editing, which you're not supposed to do. But I want to have this play presented, and I want it to be meaningful to the students, and I think it will be because they can relate to it. And so I'm excited about this thing. I'm putting a lot of my interest and time into.
There we go. So, do you have any plans for a new album in any time in the near future?
Well, I've been talking about this album forever. About my there's a few songs I just got to cover in my lifetime, and when I do covers, I usually write songs too.
I see.
But there's this one record that Dan and I talk about putting down. But I'm kind of a little bit overwhelmed with my work right now. And then
Sure.
I just got my hip replaced, so I feel amazing. I feel like
Oh, good.
I feel really good. I feel very energetic. So I'm hoping that as soon as I catch up with my day-to-day work, I can start putting more effort into recording. Usually Dan and I will have a set, like we'll say Thursday nights recording, and then I have a week to work on something, or we'll come back to it a week later. And that's a really good way to force me to record, because we get a lot of
Right.
down that way. But right now I'm like, I don't have time.
Yeah, I know what you mean. So maybe album out in 2025?
Yeah, maybe. I mean, that's going to be a big year for us going to Finland.
Oh, yeah.
Dan's going to join me and perform as well, because he's going to do some tracks as well.
Okay. Yeah, I really love his album. It's kind of the Stooges of East LA.
Yeah, it's fierce. That's for sure.
Yes.
It's great.
Yeah.
Well,
We love visiting the Tolmans.
Well, you should come on out here. We have an opening coming up on the 19th, so we're kind of frantically working towards getting that up, and so that keeps us busy.
It's fun, busy.
Oh,
that's
yeah,
for sure.
yeah. Take a deep breath and one foot in front of the other, and everything's going to be fine. Oh, yeah, that's true. Oh, yeah. There we go. And Mike. Let me turn towards the light here. My studio here doesn't have a whole lot of light, and let's see. It's called Twisted Dream Machine. The Paisley Underground, 1982 to 1986, and it's got picture of Michael Quercio on the front. Aha. Okay. Yep. Well, it's out now. And somebody should have gotten copies. So inquire. Maybe.
All right, I'll check in with you two later. You crazy two art fiends.
We are crazy fiends of various types. Say hey to Dan, and thank you for being on the program. That was Barbara Manning. That is Barbara Manning, and here on the Good Time Hour. And thanks very much.
Yay!
Talk with you soon.
Yay! Bye.
In the restroom, trying to figure out what to say. Your words cut me deeply. The blood of feeling is dripping away. Ooh, you meant it. Ooh, you meant it. You meant it. I wanna tell you in the kindest, sweetest way. Try to slow down, catch your breath some. The blood of feeling is dripping away. Ooh, you meant it. Ooh, you meant it. You meant it. I can feel all alone, even when I'm with you. Funny how the more you shout, the less that I can hear you. There's a thought, go ahead, wade right through it. If you find the other side, congratulations to you. Stop by your house. I was waiting, 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 waiting. Ooh, talk to me. Ooh, don't talk to me that way. Ooh, you meant it. Ooh, you meant it. You meant it.
That right there was Barbara Manning from her 1997 album on Matador Records. 2000, or actually it was called 1212, and that was Blood of Feeling. And right now, we're going to get all countrified for a moment. We got Theo Lawrence saying California Poppy.
Don't pick up strangers on the road. As a young boy I was told, but I could never ever listen. I was en route to Monterey, and she was heading the same way. All aboard my Silverado. She's the California poppy of the PCH, blooming on the roadside, hitching and a thumbing and a bumming a ride, and a golden ray of sunshine. She was a hipster from the town, smoking reefer by the pound, and her ways were kinda groovy. She kept her shades on for the ride. Now there was something she was trying to hide. I couldn't put my finger on it. She's a California poppy of the PCH, blooming on the roadside, hitching and a thumbing and a bumming a ride in a golden ray of sunshine. We made a stop at a service station for a little bit of relaxation and a little bit of gasoline. She stole my keys and then she rode away, and for the gas I had to pay, so I wrote my song about it. It's called the California Poppy of the PCH, looming on the roadside, hitching and a thumbing and a bumming a ride and a golden ray of sunshine. Yeah, the California Poppy of the PCH, looming on the roadside, a hitching, thumbing and a bumming a ride and a golden ray of sunshine, and a golden ray of sunshine.
Oh, the sun's gonna shine in my life once more. Love's gonna live here again. Things are gonna be the way they were before. Love's gonna live here again. Love's gonna live here. Love's gonna live here. Love's gonna live here again. No more loneliness, only happiness. Love's gonna live here again. I hear bells a-ringing, I hear birds a-singing. Love's gonna live here again. I hear bees a-humming, and I know the days are coming. Love's gonna live here again. Love's gonna live here. Love's gonna live here. Love's gonna live here again. No more loneliness, only happiness. Love's gonna live here again. Love's gonna live here again.
That's right. If you're out of buck, you're out of luck. That's Buck Owens, California's very own, from Bakersfield. Love's Gonna Live Here. And right for that, California Poppy from Theo Lawrence, who's from Paris. So what are you going to say? Well, it's been a great Good Time Hour. Thank you so much for joining us here on the Russ Tolman Good Time Hour. And it would not be one without some Russ Tolman music. Here's from my 1998 album, City Lights. This is called Losers Club. See you next week.
Begging my participation in your association of cast-asides. Well, I regretfully decline your generous offer. Call me stubborn or just call it pride. Call this friendship, I just can't see how. If this is friendship, I don't need it now. Don't wanna be a member of your losers club. Guy's not good enough for your love. I blew the audition, couldn't keep the part. So just be satisfied that you broke my heart. I don't wanna be around you anymore. Make me the president of the new West Coast chapter
after, and I'm supposed to be happy after the way you treated me. And I'll line up with the others and we'll feel just like brothers as we remember the way it used to be. Call this friendship, I just can't see how. If this is friendship, I don't need it now. Don't wanna be a member